Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. We've been talking this week about flipping the switch because of, you know me and my little predilection for contrast. Just love it. And when I flip a switch, when I go and I flip the light switch in my room, I go from being in total darkness to light. And I can see things. I can see the contrast of things. I can see shadow. I can see exactly what it is that I want. Without flipping the switch, you don't get to do that. You don't have a contrast. You just have darkness and you're just kind of guessing. And that's not fun when you stub your toe on your bed. Anybody ever do that? I have a friend who just did that and broke the daylights out of his toe. It wasn't pretty. And it took a picture of it and showed it. Look, there's my toe. Thanks for sharing. Whatever. Anyway, so I wanted to bring in something we have talked about before, and I've shared before on Full Bloom, and I've even shared before here in the Daily Dish Show. But I wanted to go back to this because this is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle for getting this whole mindset thing figured out. Mindset, oftentimes people think it's just a bunch of gobbledygook, bumper sticker theology and philosophy and just feel good, rah. It's not. It is not. Because you know what it is? A mindset piece is the way your filtration system and the way you view the world, how your belief system works. And, you've heard the thing, is your glass half full or half empty, right? That could be a piece of mindset. But it's also goes way beyond that. And it goes into the place of showing you and giving you either a vibrant life or not. Because without the proper mindset, it doesn't matter what you do, because your mindset will destroy your attempts, will destroy your hope, and an improper mindset will take you down in no time at all. That's just how it works. So if we're going to flip the switch on a set mindset versus a growth mindset, we're going to be able to have at least the foundation laid so that we can do this. This is where it gets really critical and important. This is a book that changed my life. I read it, probably... look, I've got all these notes already in the back. 2015, I read it, I think. It's called Mindset, the New Psychology of Success, how we can learn to fulfill our potential in every single way, parenting, business, school, relationships. And I would say even with the relationship that you have with yourself and how you view the world, it's that incredible. Now, this is a book by Carol Dweck. She also, if you want to go to TED.com, this is where you can find TED Talks, and you can watch her incredible presentation. It really is quite magical, I think, because this is where I learned and unlearned so many different things. Because haven't you heard before that your intelligence is set at a certain age, and that every time you drink a beer or something like that, you're destroying brain cells, and that it's no use trying to get smarter because it's a done deal by the time you're 5 or something. Have you heard all that? Well, guess what? It's all been disproven with new science. And this new science, this gal, she's a PhD professor at Stanford. I mean, she knows her stuff. And she did this study with millions of people, and this is what they came up with: this notion that there's this thing called a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So if you're taking notes, today's the day to take them. Otherwise, by the way, you can always get our show notes. Our show notes are available for you in the Daily Dish. That's our newsletter that goes out daily. You get recipes, you get all kinds of stuff, and just kind of keep up with what we're doing here. And you get the show notes from the day before. If you go to savingdinner.com, you'll figure it out, because there'll either be a pop-up or a little sidebar somewhere with directions on how to do it. It's your name, it's your email address, and we ask for your phone number too, because we're that nosy. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to run through what a fixed mind. Well, we're going to run through fixed versus growth mindset. And again, you're going to get all of this. There's basically 6 things for a fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. And then there is, you'll get the layout basically. I'm sure Lindsay's doing our newsletters now, so I'm sure she'll do something pretty with it. So you're just going to have to deal with me and my yippity yap. Okay. First of all, a fixed mindset says intelligence is set, because that's what we were told. We believe it. We were told that by a certain age, your intelligence is set. There's nothing more that you can do. And you're basically stuck with the hand you've been dealt. Well, the new science tells us, and this is the growth mindset, by the way, that intelligence can be developed. I don't care how old you are, by the way. It's not game over until, you're pushing up the daisies. At any point, we can do that. You know what it's a matter of doing? It's a matter of learning new things. It's a matter of being a lifetime learner and making a decision that you're not too old to learn something. I can't tell you how many women, and this might be you, and if I'm poo-pooing on you, just take it to heart. Know that I love you, but I'm going to say it anyway. How many of you oftentimes will say, well, computer stuff and high tech, I can't learn that. I'm too old for that. Anyone? Am I talking to you? I've said it myself, and I'm take it back. You know why I take it back? Because I am here on purpose and for purpose, put here by God himself. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And therefore, if I am to be a lifetime learner, I can lifetime learn anything I set my mind to, because I have a growth mindset. You too? Is that you? I'm calling you out. Don't say this anymore. Can we just make an agreement? Can we pinkies up on this one? That we'll stop saying I'm too old, I can't learn new things, too hard, too whatever. Let's learn together. Let's be these women. Let's be these women that say, okay, I don't get how to do that, but I can learn. I can go to YouTube and teach myself things. I can do anything I set my mind to do, because I have a growth mindset. Intelligence is learned. It's not something that's just been given to you and that's it. Not true. False. Aren't you relieved? You know what that's saying to you? You know what that's saying to you? You know who this is calling out? We who are of a certain age, and saying that the world is our oyster. We have the ability to do anything that it is that we decide that we want to do. Now, we're not talking ridiculousness. We're talking things that can be learned, But I mean, honestly, we're not going to all go out there and be prima ballerinas with the New York City Ballet. Hello. The time is up on that, but so what? The time is not up for you to learn how to be savvy with a computer. The time is not up for you to learn how to do things so your kids don't have to come rescue you. We have the opportunity to learn it because we have a growth mindset. Intelligence is not set. We can grow at any time. You know what some of the things you can do to start exercising those parts of your brain? Brush your teeth with the opposing hand. I am right-handed. Sometimes I will brush my teeth with my left-handed. You know why I do that? Because I know that it feels awkward and weird, and my brain is working really hard to figure out what the heck is she doing? We just need to keep our brain going like this. That's what a growth mindset does for us, and that opens the door of opportunity. Amen? All right, that's number 1. A fixed mindset avoids challenges. Let's go back to the computer thing, shall we? Oh, that's too hard. I can't do that. Oh, I'm on the struggle bus. How many times? I mean, all the stuff that we say, our brains say, your wish is my command master. Because our brains are going to take any kind of direction from us, even if it's ridiculous. Once upon a time, in an effort to be funny, I used to say, yeah, I walk by a bakery and I smell it and I gain weight. And guess what? I did. Because my brain was saying, oh, is this what we're supposed to do? Let's do it then. Give the girl a couple of pounds. This is how asinine it is. We have to start and go to the place of not avoiding challenges, but instead of embracing that and just say, okay, I don't know how, but I'm going to learn. I don't know how, and I'm going to learn. How about the and? Remember, we've dropped the buts and said and. We can do anything we set our minds to. Anything. What if you decided right now, today, that you're going to learn a foreign language? You think you could do it? Yeah, you can. And you can do it for free. Duolingo, get on it and just make a commitment to being consistent and showing up every day and doing the work. That's how we get there. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible when we embrace the challenge. Don't you love that? Number 3 is obstacles. Listen, anybody here, I just have a question. Has anybody here noticed in their lifetime on earth that something invariably gets in the way? There's always something. I hear people say, oh, I was doing this and then life gets in the way. Yeah, life is always going to get in the way. But an obstacle doesn't mean you give up. It doesn't mean you go on the defensive. If you have a fixed mindset, it does. But an obstacle just means that we see it, we know it, and we think, okay, so how am I going to get around this thing? What is my detour plan? Today, I went and had my nails done, and on the way home, they had this big thing set up. So I had to detour from how I usually get home. So what? I still got home, just a different route. That's how it is in life, though. There's always something that's going to get in the way. So we can either say, oh my gosh, it's too hard and I can't do it and it's just ruined everything. Or we can say, you know what? I can persist. I can go. And even if I cha-cha 2 steps back, I can cha-cha 3 steps forward if I persist, if I stay the course. Speaking of that, Hot Milk 30, do I expect you to do it perfectly? No. Are you going to do it perfectly? No. But I do expect you to put excellence forward on this. I do expect you to figure it out when you have a day that just goes off. I expect you to sit back and go, okay, so what just happened here? What can I do about this? How can I change this up so that tomorrow I don't have to deal with the same stuff? That is a growth mindset, because that is recognizing the human equation of what life has, which is obstacles and crazy. It doesn't go like this. Or it doesn't go like this either. It goes like this. And sometimes it goes down and then it goes up. It's a roller coaster. And when we see this and understand this and say, okay, that's cool. We're with it. We can do this. Then guess what? We get there. We do. We get there. And sometimes we're panting. And sometimes we're just like, barely sliding into first, sliding into home base. But we did it. That's how it works. Hey, Sue. So I just say to that, this is great stuff. This gives us the opportunity that anything is possible. And then our fixed efforts, fixed mindset, all the effort that we put out, we say, oh, it's just not worth it. This is worse than anything. Why even try? This is fruitless. That's what a fixed mindset says when they're giving it your all, not getting anywhere. Because have you ever been in the place, and I've seen this has happened to me, where you're sprinting and nothing's happening. You haven't lost an inch, you haven't lost a pound, and you're sitting here, I'm doing everything right. I'm hydrating, I'm sleeping, I'm eating the food right, I'm not eating too much, I'm, not eating too little either. I'm taking really good care of myself. I'm doing everything. Well, you give up and you say, forget about it. And the next thing you know, your car's driving through to something and just say, yeah, it doesn't work for me. Whereas if you have a growth mindset, you'll see your effort as a path to mastery, and you'll experience it too. Because, 8 days, 9 days later, whoosh, there goes 4 pounds. That's how it works. That's how it works. Your body's saying, you're kidding me, right? You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me, right? Oh, really? Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep going. Okay, reward, here it comes. This is the way. Your effort is a path to mastery. And just like obstacles, there's a lot of wiggle involved. Like the cha-cha, there's a lot of back and forth. But you will get there. You will get there if you hold on and don't give up, because you know that your growth mindset is the place to go and the place to get you there. That's how effective it is. And then this is a big one, because anybody have a critical spouse? Criticism, the criticism. When the criticism comes, what do? Defensive, or we ignore it, even if it might be useful or helpful, because don't like it. Nobody likes criticism. Can we just be honest with it? Well, guess what happens when you have a growth mindset? Even when you do not like it, you still learn from it. You still learn from it. You can still talk to the messenger and say, you know what, I didn't appreciate that, but I'm going to tell you something. I learned something from it. But next time when you want to come at me with something, can you be a little gentler or whatever? So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Get into it and decide that you have the chutzpah to be the analysis check. The gal who says, wait a second. That dug deep. I didn't like that. That hurt. That was awful. That was mean. But there was a grain of truth there. And that's the nugget that I'm going to take from this. Growth mindset does that. Fixed mindset, boom, that baby gone. And so's the bathwater. And then the last one is when you have a fixed mindset and you see the success of others, what do? You feel threatened. You got jealous. You're envious. And you're just like, well, you start saying things like, well, she doesn't have 3 kids at home. Well, she doesn't have all the things that I have going on in my life. She's not busy. She can do this full time. Do we do that? That's what happens with a fixed mindset. It's just very narrow and sad. Well, it's 7th grade. She likes her better. I mean, come on, grow up. Am I right? Of course. Instead, what do? Well, I'll tell you what we do, because I see it all the time in the Hot Melt Sprint group on Facebook. We see the success of others and we learn. Boy, oh boy, what's she doing? What's Tanya doing that she's on day 300 and she's maintaining that 130-pound weight loss? What's she doing? It's inspirational. It is an aspiration. I want to be like her. Right? Amen. Comparison is the thief of all joy. Of all joy. If you want your life wrecked and you want it taken down and you want to feel just nothing but bitterness and anger and angst and all the rest of it, you do that. But that's fixed mindset. It's not a growth mindset, and it's not going to get you to where you want, because at the very end of it, with a fixed mindset like this, what do you see as far as success in anything? Very, very limited. But a growth mindset sees opportunity. The door swings wide for somebody with a growth mindset. And let me just say this, one of my favorite, this quote, one of my favorite quotes is that little hinges swing big doors. And little hinges are making decisions about the type of mindset that you're going to have. And that's going to open that big old door to higher levels of success on everything, on all the things, on whatever your goals are. It's going to help you to do that. So when we approach our goals, the vibrant vision that we have for ourselves, for our lives, for our families, for our friends, for our communities, when we approach it with a growth mindset, everything changes, because we can motivate ourselves. We can even motivate others, because there's a ripple effect that happens, right? So why don't we take a look at perhaps something needs to change? We have the ability to learn, to grow, and to be, but we don't if we have a closed mindset, fixed mindset, one that says there are no possibilities for me, versus the growth mindset, man, expansive. Am I right? Go watch Carol Dweck's DWECK, by the way. Go watch her TED Talk. It'll open your eyes. I mean, in a big, big way. And not only that, but it's going to make all of these possibilities, just everything pop for you. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Thank you, Andrea. All right, I appreciate you joining me. Don't forget about Wise Women's Wednesday. Boy, oh boy, if you like this, wait to hear tomorrow. We got some juicy stuff coming your way. I'm so looking forward to it. And while I'm thinking about it, today, Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. And while I'm thinking about it, do this. Okay, can somebody, there it is. Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. And while I'm thinking about it, do this right now. Go to savingdinner.com/gut and go get your seat for the gut webinar, because talk about boom chakalaka. That's going to make your head explode. It's going to be good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Peace be with you. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.